Yeah, so what we're gonna do this week for Eclectic Roots Groove playlist um, is a band called Free Peoples, and I met the gentleman Tim Sawyer. I think his nickname is Buzz, but he goes by Tim Sawyer. The band was I spoke to him. It was great. I had an opportunity to speak to him for many hours. It was related to another purposed meeting, but I learned about his band, and I've been listening to his music now for the past couple of days since I met him, and he's incredible. And what was lovely about meeting him is that when I spoke to him about the eclectic roots groove genre, and I said, yeah, it's a mixture of Americana and blues and jazz and rock and funk. He said, wow, that's the very thing that our band's music, Free Peoples, is all about. And they've been around since 1999. He's an amazing songwriter, and he has an incredible voice as well, as does his partner. His name is Michael DePero, and he's a bassist and a singer as well. And so Tim has written over hundreds and hundreds of songs, and he performs very regularly every year, and he's kind of known as a great a driver of setting up venues throughout all of the United States. I think if you go onto their site, which is freepeoples.com, and you read what they say, it says Free Peoples began as a band in Oakland, California studio in 1999. It was there that singer-guitarist Tim Sawyer and bassist singer Michael DePero met. They immediately connected on a deep musical level and began composing songs. Soon after, guitarist vocalist Johnny Downer joined. The trio began working on their self-titled album, and they've been performing. And there's if you look them up on YouTube, you can see many performances that they do, and they're all impeccable. It really is a kind of like a fusion style of all these different genres. Tim mentioned to me that there was this time where he was asked to kind of take down a song, and the song involved all these kind of very cool jazz chords, which these were many years ago, which at that time he wasn't really familiar with, but he started to had to learn these chords, and in the process of learning these chords, he became really fascinated and in love with that kind of sound of open jazz chords or interesting voicings, within a kind of also the genre of the storytelling. And then he also has a love for rhythm as well. One way to kind of show it, the song that I'm going to put on the song list is called The Shape I'm In. But let's just listen to the beginning part of it, and you can kind of hear a little bit of the quality. So immediately you get this feeling of funk, a great kind of rhythmic setting that's brought in. Carry on. Baby, love me like I know you can. I love the way that all his songs I've listened to, and many of the songs already, that the vocals are up front and they're super present. You can hear his words, which is great. I always have a bit of a beef with songs where I can't hear the lyrics, but with Tim Sawyer and Michael DePero, when either of them sing, you can hear their words super clearly, but with also great voicing and feeling. You tell me, I'm your only man. Very soulful. We got time, I said, to make it work.
Let's take this time for what it's worth. Well, don't get caught up with the things you don't have.
And then when you listen to their, sorry to keep stopping, but when you listen to their vocals as well, they have the two of them together. I mean, there's many of them. I think when he said there's other people that are singing vocalists, but the main vocalist is Tim himself, and Michael. And when you listen to the actual performances of them, Wild West, there's a song called Wild West, which I think I'll cover next week, because not to jump all over the place. I asked Tim, I said, would you be cool if we had an interview and kind of just sort of tell your story, and what you're doing and the impact that you've had on the whole music scene, and he said that he would love to do it. And then just to park a little bit on that, I heard an interview that he did, Tim did, and one of the things that he said was, and it was a real kind of an encouragement for me as an artist as well. And the reason being is that he said, you know what, if you have a feeling of music in your heart, and if you have something to say, and if you've been gifted with an ability to write, you really owe it to yourself to be out there. So he was asked, like, you what is the drive that you have for the 20 plus years or 25 plus years that you've been out with the band, like an impeccable band, like super high quality band who perform all original stuff. Like, that was the thing that blew me away when I spoke to him, because most times bands, when they perform, they have to perform covers. They don't. I mean, he's performing 3 hours of every night of original stuff, and all of it is incredibly tasty. It has some of it has a bluegrass feel, some of it has a blues feel, some of it has almost a Gaelic feel, New Orleans French swing kind of feel. All these different genres of music that he interplays with in his writing, that the two of them and the band interplay with in the writing. And they had next time we speak to him, when we interview him, when I interview him, we'll speak to him about also this guitarist. It was an amazing guitarist who unfortunately passed away at a young age, but there's a lot of the pieces that you listen to him playing, just very kind of Spanish-like, very jazz-like, all very, very, Santana type of feel. Just an amazing guitarist. But anyway, back, I'm meandering a little bit. Back to the song that we're going to put on there, which is called "The Shape I'm In." Continue.
Why you can't. I'm really
I love the trombone in the background.
sweet, sweet love.
I think it's Jason Thor, trombone.
We'll come together. Or should I meet you there? We got time, I said, to make it work. Let's take this time for what it's worth. We don't get caught up with the things you don't have. Yeah, why you can't.
Almost has a Steely Dan feel there in that one section. I love rhythm. It's got so much soul, that funk quality in it, jazzy quality in it, tight drums, open space.
I'm with you now, like I've always been.
Okay, so and this is the song that we're going to put on, but also just to kind of share a little bit. He sent me, where is it? Let me see if I can find it. Hold on, hang in there with me. It's worth it. Live in Ibiza, and we'll talk to him next week. But One Less Greedy Man. So this is, so you can listen to this again.
Are you ever now? The ship I'm in.
Okay, so you got that feel. So now listen to this. One Less Greedy Man. This was recorded in Spain in this incredible studio. This has like almost like
I
a,
live all my life as a son of a man who taught me to lie at the drop of a hat. Now I'm living underneath this old bridge, and my day consists of begging from those he stole red hand. Satisfied, I'm one less greedy man. Satisfied, I'm one less greedy man.
okay, so yeah, so that is a totally different style, but it's still within the field of defining who Free Peoples is and who Free Peoples are as a band, and all the kind of eclectic style that they bring to it. But for this week particularly, the song Shaped by Men. And we had covered Trombone Shorty last week, and I actually was delighted to be able to see Trombone Shorty in Nashville on Saturday at the Ryman. It was like an amazing concert. But this band, Free Peoples, they're widely known. They have a huge following throughout the United States. You wouldn't know it by going on Spotify, but they fill the venues that they go to, incredibly popular, well known as a well established. I mean, they gave themselves a funky name like Wild African Funky New Orleans Americana Pop. Definition, when they were doing this interview, but. And when he said, wow, Michael, when you define the genre of eclectic roots groove, he says that's exactly who we are. So do enjoy the shape I'm in. If I were to summarize three important points, this guy's an amazing composer. The band is an amazing band. Historically, they've been at it for 25 years. They're impeccable artists. He's dedicated to the whole notion of having his craft out there, allowing people to enjoy what he is creating in a high standard of quality of music, and I look forward to learning more about him, and looking forward to being able to do an interview with him in the future. When the actual date will be, we'll have to determine it, but I definitely want to put at least 3 more songs of his on the Eclectic Roots Groove playlist. I think that Free Peoples, the band, all the artists, the musicians that are on the band are great. And it was just a real honor to be able to meet Tim Sawyer, who is like an essential part of that band. So thanks a lot for listening. Stay tuned to next week and enjoy Shaped by Men, and do research Free Peoples. Like, go listen to their live performances. It's really amazing. Both Tim Sawyer and Michael Tapiro have incredible voices. The harmonies that they have together are impeccable. Their instrumentation is wonderful. The band members are exquisite. It's a great band. So here we go. Ciao.